All right, number 7, we're halfway there, guys. Select correct answer, the correct answers in simplest form. So opposite of the last problem, simplest form. Anytime you see that, that means simplifying is probably going to be a big step of the process. Now, a lot of people would jump off right from the beginning of this problem. They'd say, all right, great, what's A, B, and C? We can't actually do that just yet. Why not, guys? Because this is not a 0. We've got a little step to start this off with where we've got to move that 3 over. If I subtract 3 from both sides, I'd have x squared minus 10x minus 3 equals 0. That's how our new problem looks. That actually changes our C value. Pretty big difference there. We get a 1, negative 10, and negative 3. Okay? And so we're going into quadratic formula. Opposite of b is positive 10 plus or minus square root b squared, which is negative 10 squared, but it's in parentheses. That's really important when you go to put this in the calculator, because otherwise you're going to get a negative when we know negative times negative should be positive. Minus 4ac. A is just a 1. That's pretty easy. C is going to be a negative 3. Okay? Over 2 times A, which is 1. All righty. We move on down a little bit, get a little bit of space. Again, in some scratch paper or in a calculator, I'm going to do this one in a calculator just to kind of show you and remind you how to do that. We need to find this discriminant. We need to find what's under the radical. So let's go to, I believe it's this one. There we go. This is our scientific Desmos calculator. Okay. We want just the discriminant. So I'm not going to do the radical. I deal with that by hand. Okay. We want just the discriminant. It is negative 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. And if I move over a little bit, you'll see our answer should be a positive 112. So I've got 10 plus or minus the square root of 112 over 2 times 1, which is 2. Now, this one says in simplest form. That should be a big hint. Hey, maybe there's something here to simplify. Let's take a look. What did I have to do to find that out is I have to break down the square root of 112. Okay? The way to simplify is by making this 2 divide into both of these numbers. Well, we've got to first find out, is there a number out there? Okay? Is there a number out front there? Only way to do that, break down the radical. I'm a simple man. I like to just use the number 2 if it's even. Okay, 2 means it's going to break down into 2 and 56. That'll break down into 2 and 28. Okay, breaks down into 2 and 14, which finally breaks down into 2 and 7. Pairs move out front. Regular numbers, unpaired numbers stay behind. There's a pair of 2s and another pair of 2s. Been a while since we've seen this. Okay, good time to review. That's why this is a review for this quiz. 2 moves out front and a 2 moves out front. That actually, they multiply together to be a 4. What gets left behind is the square root of 7. So we drop down another line. We have 10 plus or minus 4 on the square root of 7, all divided by 2. And now we see something interesting has taken place. What we were talking about earlier was this 2 would have to divide into both of these numbers for us to simplify. And now it does. 10 divided by 2 is positive 5, plus or minus 4 divided by 2 is 2, square root of 7. This would be a great time to remind you, put this in the calculator, put this in the calculator, and make sure you get the same crazy decimal. Hey, you could put the original problem in the calculator, original quadratic formula, and see if it was the same, and it should be.